Live from our studios here at Kokomlemle in Accra, this is Joy News Prime with me, Samuel Kojo Brace. In our lead stories this hour, EC chairperson comes under grueling questioning from MPs as she assures there is no way she and her colleagues can rig the 2024 election in favor of any political party.
Documentation comes from the ground, and we believe that you have copies. So I can assure you that there's absolutely, and this is a message that we are sending and we continue to send to our officers on the ground.
We have more as the minority warns any attempt to rig the 2024 election could lead to an overthrow of the 2024 election.
And if this election is not conducted in a credible manner, we may end up losing the 1992 Constitution.
We have details from Parliament where Madam Jean Mensah has been answering questions on why she moves around under heavy security of both military and police personnel.
Rhetoric in the public that makes maybe the security agencies feel that they should provide us with this level of security.
Also coming up, soaring food prices leave shoppers struggling to provide a warm meal for their families to eat.
15 million.
Let's start off from the election headquarters, and it is brought to you by Petrosol, your clean fuel in full quantity, and the Chartered Institute of Management Accountant, CIMA, the American Institute of Certified Public Accountant, together as the Association of International Certified Professional Accountant. Also by the Chopbox Technologies, a convenient service, and Youth Bridge Foundation, bridging the gap for positive youth development. Now, the Electoral Commission Chairperson Jean Mensah has assured the country of the EC's complete readiness to ensure a free, fair, and transparent election. It comes after the EC boss was subjected to a barrage of intense questioning from MPs over the Commission's preparedness for the 2024 election. Jane Mensah says there is no way herself or her colleagues at the EC can rig the election in favor of any political party.
Madam Jean Mensah faced close to 4 hours of grueling questioning from members of parliament, particularly on the minority side, about the EC's preparedness for the 2024 election. Madam Jean Mensah says there is no way the Electoral Commission that she leads will rig the election in favor of any political party, and that it is not even possible.
There's absolutely no way that at the helm of affairs, the Commission can change anything, because the documentation comes from the ground, and we believe that you have copies. So I can assure you that there's absolutely, and this is a message that we are sending and we continue to send to our officers on the ground.
Jean Mensah says the EC has become the subject of hate speech, misinformation, and disinformation.
I think it's been obvious that hate speech, misinformation, and disinformation against the EC has become the order of the day. And we are of the view that providing timely responses to counter this trend will go a long way to engender trust and confidence in our processes and reduce suspicions and tensions.
The Electoral Commission provided an update on the personnel they are recruiting for the 2024 election. But then came that ominous warning from the minority leader, Dr. Kisela Tuforsen, that the country's fate is in the EC's hands and that the country could risk losing the 1992 Constitution if the 2024 election were not free and fair.
The mood of this country deserves nothing less than what she said. And if we are not careful, and where the country is at this moment, and if this election is not conducted in a credible manner, we may end up losing the 1992 Constitution. The future of this country is in her hands. The future of Ghana is in her hands and the hands of the Commission.
The Deputy Majority Leader, Patricia PJ, has been warning the public, and in particular political opponents, against information and speculation that will put the nation's security at risk.
One of the things that we should avoid is to speculate on issues that don't have evidence. We have only one Ghana.
The Electoral Commission also had to respond to questions about why she goes about with so many security personnel. In fact, when the EC chairperson came to Parliament today, she had in excess of 5 soldiers and some other policemen in her security detail. She says it's uncomfortable, but it's what she has to put up with to be able to protect herself, her team, and her family.
We all here, we see the Electoral Commission travel with heavy security presence around her. In fact, in many cases, I see more security around her than the Speaker of Parliament and the Vice President.
I'm a bit worried for her. I'm worried because I've seen her many times with military protecting her. If she should do the right thing, she will work freely without even a police officer.
Rhetoric in the public that makes maybe the security agencies feel that they should provide us with this level of security. To be honest with you, it takes away your freedom. You cannot go to the salon, everybody's in your space. You go to the market, it's not pleasant at all. But I believe it's a rhetoric that we hear on the media landscape because we've come here as friends.
The Electoral Commission has now provided answers, says they are really ready going into the 2024 election. They are assuring all stakeholders of the Commission's unflinching ability and willingness to lead the country into a peaceful polls. And they say that the country and political parties must come with them. Reporting for Joy News, Kweku Asante, Parliament House, Accra.
Now, Dr. Yahoya Otaloklo is warning any person who would try to stop what he describes as a wind of change in the 2024 elections to desist from such act. According to him, the current economic situation and general dissatisfaction among the Ghanaian populace is fueling this wind of change.
There's only one thing I will say. Just as the lecturer said last time, I know there will be a change, but who will lead it, I don't know. Definitely, my party in government now will not be. Just on the 1st of July, this very month, I was invited to a function at the Ghana Armed Forces Staff College, institution. Not me alone. Dignitaries came there, including the Chief Justice and others, senior military officers. And the person who did the presentation is an experienced intelligence officer. I know him very well. What he said, and I have been saying that democracy, it appears that people are now losing interest in democracy. When somebody talks like, an intelligence officer talks like that, you have to sit down, if I were the president, and start thinking. Because when the people lose interest in democracy, they have to look somewhere else to free themselves. You follow me? Now, it is crystal clear. If you have figures coming from your own party, your own political groupings, I'm citing an example, maybe like Alan Chiramante, for instance, out publicly to resign. And so are others who have joined up with him. And you have an opposition party that is not sleeping. And you have a situation where your subjects are crying. I mean, it's a common thing. You follow me? Now, mind you, the people are no fools. And then you come with certain policies or even ideas. Look at the sort of thing they came out a couple of days with. That MP should be given siren. I mean, I sat down and I said, what is happening to this country? When we had chief justices in this country, there was no siren for them. If they know they are going to court at 8, they leave the house at 6.
Deputy Commandant of the Kofi Annan International Peacekeeping Training Center says he is worried about threats political instability poses to the African Union's Agenda 2063, which aims at economic transformation and growth. bad governance, violent extremism, among others, continue to drive a surge of coup d'etats in recent years. As about 17 African countries go into election this year, Air Commodore David Annette Akrong is advocating strong and effective institutions in ensuring democracy is upheld. Nana Ojima has more in the following report.
The Deputy Commandant of the KAIPTC was speaking at the third edition of the Stakeholder Dialogue Series themed Enhancing Civic and Institution Building for Sustainable Africa. About 17 countries, including Ghana, have general elections slated for this year. For the recent political tensions recorded in some African countries, the coming elections are deemed key to the development of the continent. Air Commodore David Annette Akrong has been explaining the role of good governance and active citizen participation in ensuring peaceful elections.
While the AU Agenda 2063 provides a myriad of opportunities for economic transformation and growth, the continent continues to be threatened with bad governance, violent extremism, terrorism, cyber attacks, political upheavals resulting in a surge of coup d'etats in the last 3 years. The relationship between the country's security situation and its institution is intricate and multifaceted. Strong and effective institutions are essential for ensuring national security and upholding the rule of law, promoting accountability, resolving conflicts, and supporting economic development. By investing in resilient institutions and promoting good governance, countries can enhance their capacity, security architecture, and contribute to sustainable peace and development.
Recent youth uprising in Kenya has raised concerns on the quality of governance and democracy in Africa. Program Executive at the Research Governance of Human Rights at the African Union, Justice Oman, speaks about the need for the citizens' participation in building good governance.
Indeed, this is the time to speak, and this is the time for African citizens to engage constructively in the governance process to build strong, resilient institutions. Strong and independent institutions that promote trust, enhance the rule of law, entrench democratic principles and values, and most importantly, protect the fundamental human rights of every African citizen.
The All-African Conference of Churches, Government of Norway, and German Development Corporation sponsored series served as a platform for relevant stakeholders to deliberate on issues that will ensure free and fair electoral processes devoid of violence. For Joy News, Nana Ojima, Kumasi.
Well, NDC flag bearer John Mahama has assured owner of GN Bank, Dr. Paa Kwesi Nduom, and his workers that he will give them a sympathetic hearing of the revocation of the license of his bank if he is elected president. Speaking after receiving a petition from Dr. Nduom, he said he believes the collapse of GN Bank and others was a knee-jerk reaction. He said he will ensure an independent review of the processes and restore the license if there are justifiable reasons to do so. We'll hear from him, John Mahama, shortly. But first, Dr. Paa Kwesi Nduom is making appeal for former President Mahama to intervene.
But I've worked in this country for 40 years. You know, I go and I come back, I go and I come back. And what I like is the impact on the individuals, the people that we've hired. In December this year, Coconut Grove in Elmina will be 30 years. A number of other businesses have grown, and with employees that have built houses, that have done all manner of things. That is what is satisfying as an individual. So I don't want to make my petition a long matter. We've summarized it for you there. We'll be happy at any point to sit down with yourself, whoever you may appoint, to explain things in further detail and let them understand where we are, because we believe that we can be part of an economic recovery, and particularly in the financial sector in this country. And so that's what has brought us here.
We're going to hear from John Mahama, who says he will ensure an independent review of the processes and restore the license of GN Bank if there are justifiable reasons to do so.
I believe that the action of this government was a knee-jerk reaction to a situation that should have been faced with reasonableness, level head, and a calm disposition. And so I do believe that indigenous participation in the financial sector is critical. And the current lopsided situation where we have a dominance of foreign banks in the financial sector is not the best that Ghana should have. And so you have a lot of empathy on this side. And so I believe government should have handled it differently. If we had continued in government, this would not have happened. I mean, we must look at the social impact too, throwing out about 10,000 banking sector professionals. Some of them are bakers today, others are Uber drivers and all that, after all the training and education they got. I mean, they are best practices that anybody could look at. And so we are advocating an independent review of the processes that went into the banking sector clean-out. And where we believe these were unjustifiable, look at the restoration of the licenses of these banks. The details are being worked out by our manifesto committee. He talked about an equity fund and all that. And so those are all things that we would look at. We'll be happy to look at the petition, but like I said, I think we are speaking on the same wavelength. I know that there are some legal issues too outstanding, but it's something that we would be looking at before we come into office. And if by the grace of the votes of the Ghanaian people and by the grace of God we do come into office, you can expect that you will all get a sympathetic hearing, in trying to unravel, what has unfortunately happened.
This is the Joe News Prime. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back with more. Please do stay. Welcome back from the break. Now, when was the last time you went to the market? Well, how were the prices on your shopping list? And at the agro-rich market, customers decry the high price of food items, especially vegetables, making it difficult for shoppers to put a hearty meal on the table for their families. My colleague, Mamiesi Nyameche Thompson, was there and has this.
Going to the market in recent times is an anxious journey for many customers here in Accra. Consistent price hikes is kicking budgets out of gear. At the Egbebulushi market, shoppers were not in the least excited. Basic ingredients such as onions, tomatoes and pepper, a constant for many Ghanaian dishes, were priced high. Doris had come to the market to shop for her eatery, but was visibly upset when she realized the prices of the items on her list had increased way beyond her budget.
Contombre 5 cedi. Namato oil 30 cedis, meto half 15 cedis.
A sack of onions is so expensive. I'm unable to buy. It costs 1,500 cedis. So I had to leave the trader there. Everything is so expensive. It's impacting my business. Oil is expensive, onion is expensive, tomatoes is expensive, even pepper. Why? Sister, why?
Sister, Aden.
As for Zainabu, her strategy was to get the items on credit from traders she had befriended to ease the pressure on her pockets.
For about a month now, I don't buy fresh tomatoes. It's too expensive. It is priced over 100 cedis. I now use tomato paste, some onion, pepper for my stews. My budget of 400 cedis is always not enough. Often, I have to take items on credit.
81-year-old grandmother I chanced on had come to the market with her husband. Eavesdropping on her bargain with the onion seller, she asked for a top-up or she wasn't going to pay. The situation, according to onion traders, is going to get tougher in the coming months. Mamodu, a leader at the Agbogboleshi onion market, told me that the lean season for the vegetable has set in and this is likely to push prices higher.
Believe me, if you go to Niger, one is from here to Kaswa, when they put onion, but Ghana, no onion. If there is some in Ghana here, the price will not go up like that. Season time, this you can sell it 10 cedis. You see, the season time. And now it's 40 cedis.
And
now,
it could go higher until November.
Correct.
Right, okay. As for pepper, the least you can buy is 10 cedis. Traders can sell to you at 5 cedis, but that may only be enough for a meal. Antialis explains the dynamics of the pepper trade. As for the pepper, the prices aren't stable. It could go up or come down. Now, it's selling from 5 to 10 cedis. Some weeks ago, I wouldn't sell at 5 cedis. On the other hand, tomato prices have slightly come down after months of a surge. From over 2,000 cedis, the big basket is now selling between 1,200 cedis and 1,500 cedis. Anti-peace has been trading for more than 20 years. By God's grace, the prices have come down. It went as high as 2,000 cedis. But now you can get even 1,000 cedis. You will get plenty for 20 cedis.
20 cedis there,
It is still expensive to put food on the table for the average household. I met Aisha, a head porter, who shared the struggle of how difficult it was to always put food on the table.
Preparing rice and stew now requires at least 100 cedis. Rice alone costs as much as 30 cedis. The remaining 70 cedis will have to cater for vegetables and oil. I can't afford fish. And this is for my husband and I.
So, from the looks of it, when you decide to go to the market, budget a little higher so that you can be able to afford the items on your list. For Joy News, Mamiesi Nyamiche Thompson.
Let's just stay in the market because traders at the Techiman Central Market are appealing to authorities to implement policies to reduce the rampant increase in prices of maize at the market. The traders who attribute the price hike to the scarcity of the commodity, which is fueled by the exportation of maize to neighboring francophone countries, want authorities to ban its export to prevent a possible food shortage in the country. Correspondent Anna Sabet has more in this report.
The current scarcity of maize, coupled with a spike in its prices across major markets in the country, continue to pose as a major threat to food security in the country. With traders here at the Techiman, maize market lamenting the negative effects of the current situation on their lives in general. They are saying that traders from neighboring Burkina Faso, Mali, and Ivory Coast are trooping into the country to buy the little maize we have in the country due to the exchange rate that is quite favoring them. They are saying that if care is not taken, the time will come where food will be scarce in the country if care is not taken. We've been speaking with some traders here at the Techiman maize market, and these are some of the things they've been telling us.
Maize production in the country has been affected due to the rain pattern. The little that we have here is being taken away by traders from neighboring Mali, Burkina Faso and Niger. The actions means we do not have some to sell to our customers.
Report that we are hearing that those people, Côte d'Ivoire people, they used to come here and then buy the maize, transport them back to Côte d'Ivoire, because our currency it has been a beans. So instead of we, the Ghanaian people, to sell it to ourselves, they are rather selling it to the foreigners because of our currency.
There's no
maize in the market, and this is because our suppliers from the northern part of the country are exporting the product to the neighboring countries, thereby putting us out of business. The government has not been helping us. We have allowed other countries to get into the country to take the little food we have, and this is because of the weak nature of our currency. So what is the government doing to save the fallen cedi?
Well, these traders here at the Techiman Central Market have a common plea. All they are calling on government to do is to ensure that steps are being instituted to ensure that the little maize we have in the country is not being taken away by their counterparts or traders from the neighboring francophone countries. They say if care is not taken, a time will come where food will be highly scarce in the country. From the Techiman Maize Market, for journalists, my name is Anna Sabit, reporting.
Well, the Progressive School Feeding Caterers Association in the Ashanti region has expressed outrage over a report by the Auditor General regarding the serving of unwholesome meals to school children. According to the association, the findings presented in the Auditor General's report are baseless and undermine their effort to, preparing food for students despite government's failure to release funds. They claim the majority of caterers participating in the program adhere strictly to the required standards and regulations when preparing meals for school children. The caterers voiced their frustration over the prolonged non-payment of their services. Many have yet to receive compensation for their work dating back to 2017, causing several financial strain. Take a listen to the address by the association.
We, the school feeding caterers, do appreciate the wonderful work done by the Auditor General, but disagree with some of its findings captured in the report, indicating that the school feeding caterers cook unwholesome food for the peoples in Ghana. The fact that we do appreciate the work done by the Auditor General, we find it strange that the report centralized or generalized the whole Ghana caterers cooking unwholesome food for the children. We do agree with the report stating that the quantity of the food served is inadequate because of the money involved. The Secretariat has not overpaid any caterer, but rather owing some of the caterers since 2017 till date. We are pleading with the Auditor General to reinvestigate this. Also, the public has misinformation about the procurement of the caterers cooking for the basic schools under the school feeding program. Some of the public are accusing the caterers of stealing the foodstuff supplied by the government to cook for the children. We are setting the record straight. The caterers do pre-finance the cooking for the whole year, but the payment is done termly within the year by the School Feeding Secretariat under the Gender Ministry. The government does not supply any food item for the caterers.
Well, there's more to come after this break. Stay. Welcome back from the break. Now, in just 2 years, Ghana's press freedom ranking has dropped from 30th to 62nd in the World Press Freedom Index. Also, despite the severe impact of climate change on the country and sub-Saharan Africa at large, media reportage on the development is still lacking. To help change the narrative, the Ghana Center for Democratic Development, CDD Ghana, has launched the Defending Media Freedom and Strengthening Climate Change Reporting Project. The multimedia group and other media houses have been awarded grants to defend media freedom and promote climate change reporting. More in this report.
Media freedom in Ghana has come under scrutiny recently, with many journalists facing attacks, particularly during election period. In response, the Ghana Center for Democratic Development, in partnership with the Danish Embassy, has initiated the SDG 13 and 16 project to promote media freedom and climate reporting. The Multimedia Group Limited received a grant to spark the conversation on media freedom as activities for 2024 general elections intensify. Kweku Owusu-Pepra, representing the Multimedia Group, emphasized the need to create a safe environment for journalists.
Silence is not the signature of journalism. Silence is not journalism. And so we continue to scream. We continue to whisper. And we continue to hold these mics wherever we go and ask the difficult questions. We hope we go out there and come back home to our families safely every day. And so when we have support to amplify this voice, that protects ourselves, it's only fair that we can say, yes, we commit. This is our beat. The media doesn't like talking about ourselves, but this matter, we will talk it. And we'll echo it to the ends of the earth, so the politicians get to know that they cannot abuse us and go scot-free. And that the more they do, the more we will shout.
Coordinator in charge of strategic partnerships and projects at the Multimedia Group's Joy Brands, Emefa Atiamoa Eli, explained that the Multimedia Team's project focuses on two major activities: defend media freedom stakeholder dialogues and social media campaigns. The group will also train journalists on safety in the line of their work.
With the help of these projects and supported by CDD, we at the Multimedia Group are going to organize two major dialogues, one for the southern sector and the other for the northern sector. The idea is to bring together stakeholders in the media. This will include media owners, journalists, regulators, civil society, political parties, So they'll be able to discuss what it requires or what is needed to be able to provide a safe environment for the journalists to operate. So as part of the activities we are rolling out is also to train the journalists. The idea is that we do not want to assume that we all know. And so we want to take the lead by teaching them or pretending they don't know. Yes, a few others they may know, but as human beings, there are times that we take things for granted. We want to use this opportunity to remind them that as you are out there doing your job, you have a responsibility. You must sift through the information which is coming to you, because then it's about people, it's about organizations, and also because it's an election year, there's going to be lots of fake news. How are you able to tell the wrong from the right? So we are also going to provide that platform for, at least on our platform, which is the Multimedia Group, we are training not less than 275 journalists across the country.
Other individuals and groups also received grants for climate reporting to highlight the impact of climate change and ways to tackle its effect. Samafa Pesu's report read to you.
The Ghana Health Service has identified lack of accommodation as one of the challenges affecting healthcare delivery in the whole municipality of the Volta region. The whole Municipal Director of Health Services, Perfect Tiati, who disclosed this, the development makes it very difficult for healthcare workers to provide uninterrupted service to clients. She made this known at the commissioning of a 2-unit staff bungalow for the Ziavi Health Center.
The Ziavi Health Center serves a clientele of about 4,000 in its catchment area. With a staff strength of 10, the center is the first point of call for residents for health needs. However, the lack of accommodation makes it difficult for caregivers to be available to render emergency services during odd hours. This development is widespread across the whole municipality.
It makes it difficult for us to post staff to our rural communities and to keep them in the community. And so most of our communities around here, when we post staff, the story we have is that they all reside in Ho and they commute to their facilities because they don't get decent accommodation to live in. Now when they work and it's time, they close and they go back. We are not able to provide 24-hour continuous service to the communities that we serve.
This prompted the Ziavi traditional authorities to self-initiate the construction of a staff bungalow project in 2023. The project stalled after the completion of the structural works with the proceeds of the 2023 Abazonizan celebrations. Through the influence of the Jutofia of Ziavi, Togbe Ajanya IV, the First Atlantic Bank provided funding for the completion of the 2-unit, 2-bedroom bungalow. The board chairman of the bank, Amakwe Ama, said the initiative aims at contributing to achieving universal health coverage in Ghana.
Your efforts have reaffirmed our belief that businesses have a crucial role to play in fostering societal well-being. As we officially open the doors to the Ziavi Health Quarters, let this facility symbolize our shared commitment to the health and prosperity of the Ziavi community.
The acting president of the Ziavi Traditional Council and the chief of Ziavi Lume, Togbe Ajakojo IV, lauded the efforts of the bank.
We indeed very grateful. Again, we continue to play Oliver Twist as we humbly ask for another edifice to be well furnished, which will solely be used for maternity services.
Togbe Ajanya requested the bank to help realize the community's vision of upgrading the health center to a polyclinic status. Fred Kwame Asari, Joy News, Ziavi.
All right, welcome. Let's do showbiz now. And you know what? Becky is here. Hi, Becky. How are you?
Hello to you, Brace. How are you?
I'm good. You're looking sweet.
Thank you. It's a beautiful Friday. Let me take you to New Jersey because Kofi Kenyatta performed yesterday, at the Horizon.
Okay, so let me add something to it. When you mention Kofi Kenyatta, now you can do West Gold.
Okay. West Gold.
Exactly.
West Gold, Kofi Kenyatta.
Exactly.
Was in New Jersey and he gave a stellar performance. Sound.
Oh.
Well, so that was
give it, baby.
Kofi Kenyatta's performance in New Jersey. Let's move down to Tema. Okay. Let's talk about Sarkodie because he's doing a lot for the kids at Redemption Valley Primary School in Tema. He spread the joy. This is an advice that he was giving to the kids earlier. Please take a listen.
You have to focus on your academics, okay? You are in school for a reason. You came here to acquire knowledge that will prepare you for the future, okay? And the next Sarkodie is probably standing somewhere here. The next Sarkodie is somewhere here. The best doctors that's going to be in General Hospital, America, everywhere, they are all here. And you can pick and choose to be a part of it. And I know you guys are going to be part of it. Everybody here, today is going to be a time in memory lane where you remember Sarkodie said, I'm going to be somebody to impact the lives of Ghanaians and worldwide, everybody, okay? The Sarkodie Foundation, in collaboration with all these incredible partners, big shouts to First Bank, to Geisha, I hope I'm not leaving anybody. Liveboy, Ness.
Well, thanks to Kobiche for that video. But let's move on. Let's talk about UK-based Ghanaian gospel singer Alice Mackenzie says that she is thrilled with the success of her new single, Beautiful, in Ghana. Beautiful is a Thanksgiving song that shows an appreciation of what God has done in her life. The singer, who arrived in Ghana on Thursday night, is in the country to promote her new single and says it feels great to be back home.
See how I come to Ghana all the time, but this time it's about my new single, which is called Beautiful. And also I have a project that I'm going to do with the Alice Mackenzie Foundation. So it's totally different this time, and I'm so excited to be here with you guys to obviously launch what I have for Ghana. It's actually surreal because the song came out just a month ago and it's already on Sony chart, number 10 on Sony chart, the gospel chart. So I'm actually very happy to see the progressiveness of how the music is flying in Ghana. And of course, I decided to come and do a massive promotion. It's been a time. I haven't been to Ghana for massive promotion on my song. So yes, it feels good to be back home. The foundation is Alice Mackenzie Foundation. As you all know, I'm a Ghanaian, but I've lived in the UK most of my life. I'm a health professional, I'm a nurse over there. So I decided to come back home and give back to the society. So the foundation is basically all-purpose foundation with healthcare and also to help people who are in need. And as you mentioned, I have a program that comes up every year in September in London. And so it's coming up again this year, and I have some artists lined up from Ghana that I'm obviously taking with me to London for the Altar Praise. It's called the Altar Praise.
Mackenzie right there. We can't wait for that program happening in London, but what you can also look out for this weekend is a Kavod concert led by Nasi. For those of you who don't know about that, it's like a cocktail of things. Abeku Santana it will be there tomorrow. Ohima Messi is on the bill. Clemento Suarez is on the bill. It's like just like a cocktail of comedy.
And I've seen Dr. Likey's guy in there.
And music. So for those of you in London, the Dominion Centre is where you should be this weekend, enjoying all these beautiful stars for the Kavod concert happening inside the Dominion Centre. Yeah, that's Dr. Likey on your screens. That's
Pepra. Kofi
Pepra on your screens there. That's Romanos, Costa Romanos on your screens. They are all, you know, will be there.
But it's a bouquet of a lot of things.
Yeah, that's what I don't know. I want to imagine how it's going to be like there in London for those of you who didn't have the chance to get your tickets to go all the way.
Can they do it now?
Who? What?
Those who didn't get it in advance, can they get their ticket? Yeah.
Oh yeah. If you're in London, you can. I'm not talking to you. Those of you in Ghana,
what about?
I'll bring it back to them.
What about if they can move early morning tomorrow?
Well, BA goes in and out of Accra every day.
You want me to book a flight for you?
Yeah, you can book a flight for me. I can go this evening. The flight, I think BA takes off at 9 p.m.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Oh, 9 p.m.
9 p.m.
You still catch it. Don't worry. You still catch it.
You're seriously going to book that flight for me?
I'm going to book it for you.
But Brace, it's a Friday. It's a beautiful Friday. We're grateful that everybody could join us for watching the news this evening. Please remember to brush your teeth with Pepsodent. Yeah. Because you know that with Pepsodent, every smile matters. There's a new one from Diana Hamilton that we're leaving you with. We're hoping that God does something wonderful in your life this weekend. And so we're leaving you with Ongwangweni.
But Becky, I think that people should celebrate even the small gains.
Yeah.
Don't look for the big break.
Yeah.
Thank God for the small ones.
For the small ones.
And it leads to the bigger ones. Yeah.
And the fact that we're all alive.
Alive is a bigger achievement, bigger thing.
We're grateful to Ongwangweni Nyame for bringing us to the close of this week. We hope that he gives us a wonderful weekend.
Then we meet on Monday or next week.
Back on Monday. Exactly. So the song at the background,